Boy, you know that I can back it up. Boy, you know that I can back it up. Boy, you know that I can back it up. Boy, you know that I can back it up.
Hello, I'm Edna Thompson, actress, author, director, scriptwriter, editor, and maker of the Office Blue movies series. Now showing on your favorite streaming networks like Tubi TV, Prime Video, TCL, Plex, Roku. You can even see it on your Xbox. And I want to share with you how I was able to get my movie in all of those places in record time. Industry professionals will warn you to be patient because it's going to take you probably 2 years or so to get your first movie streamed. I was able to cut that time in half and was able to get my first movie streamed in less than a year. And how did I do that? I want to share everything with you, and I put it in a book to make it easy for you. And my book is named How to Go From Dreaming to Streaming. It's available right now on Amazon Books. I tell you in this book how and why I got into the filmmaking industry in the first place. What were my influences, what were my inspirations, and why I took that plunge into the entertainment industry. Being that I'm a female and it's pretty much a male-dominated field, why did I decide to take that plunge and get into entertainment anyway? What was it about entertainment that had that pull and the drive for me that made me go on into it anyway, knowing I was going to be one of the few, if not one of the only one? Why did I do that? I want to encourage you to pull out your stories, and the stories that you need to share, the stories that only you know, and they will not be told if you don't tell it. And the best way to tell a story and keep it concrete for a long period of time is to put that story on film. You need to tell your stories, and in my book I tell you why, more in depth, why I feel it's important for you to get your story out there, and absolutely how to get it out there in a format that will be picked up by these streaming networks quicker than a 2-year period. 2 years for me at this point in my life just sounds like a very long time, and that is why I pushed my way through to make it short. I just felt like all of this, my movies being released honestly came out right around COVID. And too many people were like just dying like flies. You know, they were here today, tomorrow you go to work and find out your friend at work is sick, and then next week you're going to that friend's funeral. So that is when my movies came out. So I felt like 2 years was not promised to me or anybody else. So I was like, I gotta figure out how to make this process shorter, and I figured it out, and it's in this book for me to share with you. While I was making my movie, there were some things that happened that I didn't expect to happen. So I'm sharing those things with you and telling you that you definitely need to expect the unexpected, and what unexpected things happened for me and how I was able to get around those things and still stay on my production timeline. Because once you get off that production timeline, you're spending a whole lot more money than you plan to spend. And it may be a lot more money than you even have available, and may end up being to the point where you cannot finish your project because you ran out of money, because these unexpected things threw you so far off track that now you're just way off and you don't know how to get your way back. So in my book, I tell you how I was able to navigate around those things and how you can do the same. You have to know your vision for your movie. What is the point of you making a movie in the first place? My Office Blue movie series follows people who share lives in the office, but it also follows them when they go outside. What do they do when they go home? Who are their family and friends at home? How do they get along? And how is that mess that happens at home coming back to work? And how does that mess at work go back to the house? And how are all these things wrapped up in secrecy and lies and infidelity? How does that happen? So that was the point of me writing Office Blue. Was I had a long career where I was in the office, and there were some things happening to me that I felt like I need to say something. I was sexually harassed in so many of my jobs that it was ridiculous. So that is what kind of pushed me into writing Office Blue. It was just the sexual harassment that was just extreme. So I kind of give you bits and pieces of things that I went through in my office jobs in Office Blue, and I shared the one characters. So you're not going to know from watching one character what happened to me in all of these office jobs. And then some things I'm sharing that happened to other people while I was working in the office. So that's how I came up with the concept of Office Blue. My thing was trying to originally tackle sexual harassment in the workplace, and it just kind of bloomed from there. So you have to know what your purpose is. Why do you have this vision to write your project in the first place? What is your script going to be about? Who are your characters? How many characters do you have? And I encourage you to limit those characters. If you have 30 characters, that means you got 30 salaries, and you got 30 people's schedules that you're working around, meaning 30 people that have major lines. It's okay to have 30 actors all together, because honestly at this point I have 50, but most of them are extras, or they play support roles, meaning I may have to film them speaking lines a few days of my production schedule. They're not on schedule for 2 or 3 weeks of time. It might be 2 or 3 days and they're done. So I encourage you to, kind of think about things like that as you're going through the process of getting your movie streamed. Where is your money coming from? When I produced my films, I was fortunate enough to get small business grants that the government was providing. But of course, since COVID, so many people took those small business grants and did so much illegal activity with it. Not me, but other people mess it up for you to go back to that same resource and get your funds again. So now that those funds are not available, we don't have those small business grants for you to produce a movie. Where are you going to get your money from? Where is that coming from? If you're planning to get a small business loan, is your credit straight for you to be able to do that? I have heard over time that you can use your business has a credit score and your personal is separate. I have not been able to navigate and get any business funds where they don't look at my personal credit too. So I would just go ahead and dispel that myth right now that they're immersed. I've not been able to find any funding source where they're not saying, well, your personal credit, this and that, okay? So where are you getting your money from? Where are you gonna find your cast? I tell you how I found my dynamic cast. My cast is dynamic, okay? I have a theater degree in acting, and my co-star has a production reel, where he's been in so many movies that he has some celebrity clout. So with the two of us together being co-stars, and I have my other female co-star here that is a co-lead with me in the movie, and she has a production reel of so many productions that she's been in that she comes with the celebrity clout. So if you can if you have some friends like that have some celebrity clout, it can kind of push your production up. It will help. However, you can start with the cast where everybody's novices. A lot of my cast and crew are novices, and they learn on the job how to become professionals in this industry where they can actually make an income. And that is the purpose of my company, Spinning Dreams, is to help people who are pursuing professional careers in entertainment to be able to build their resume so they can do that. A lot of the people who are in my movie series, Office Blue, whether they played an extra or had lines to say, are now working with major production companies in Atlanta. Without saying names, you probably know exactly which production company I'm talking about. And I mean, they're in like movies, series, dramatic series, TV series that you see on your TV every week. And I can actually, go through and see my people in the background or saying lines or whatever they have to do in that production right now. And they would not have had the opportunity had they not been in my movie first to help them to create a reel. So is the purpose of your company and making a production to help people create a reel? What is your purpose? And last but not least, when are you getting your movie on? When is it going to be streaming? When am I going to be able to see it? When are you going to be able to call me and say, Edna, I got your book, I went through the process, and now my movie is streaming, or I'm having a green room party, can you come? Or we're doing the first release, the family and friends screening, can you come? When is that going to happen? And I'm hoping that I can join as many of you as possible at your movie release party, especially if you get my book. I would love for that to happen, because that is a roundabout, circle around moment for me to help somebody to succeed, and I would love to be there. Now, because I am doing other things, I may not be able to be there, but I'm letting you know it right now. I would love to be part of the process. If I can't do anything but send you a video clip and say congratulations that you can play at your screening, I would love to be a part of it. But thank you for listening. Once again, my name is Edna Thompson. I am the author of the Office Blue Movies series, now streaming on your favorite networks. And you must be a filmmaker if you're watching this video and you want to do the same thing and have your movie streaming on your favorite networks. And how do you do that in record time? Is you first purchase the book called How to Go From Dreaming to Streaming on Amazon Prime Books. Get your book today. It will be totally worth it, and I want to share your success story in the end. Once again, Edna Thompson, Office Blue, How to Go From Dreaming to Streaming. You can do this. Get your book today.